So you finally did it. You stopped buying useless garbage for 5 minutes, you looked under the couch cushions, maybe you sold that dusty treadmill you swore you were going to use back in 2024, and now you have exactly $1,000 sitting in your hand. Congratulations, you have achieved the financial status of a responsible teenager. In the year 2026, where a carton of eggs costs as much as a used Honda used to, holding $1,000 feels like a victory. But don't pop the champagne yet, because statistically speaking, you are about to do something incredibly stupid with it. I can see it in your eyes. You're looking at that money, and your brain is already flooding with dopamine, imagining turning it into $1 million overnight. You're thinking about crypto. You're thinking about options trading. You're thinking about buying a course from some guy on the internet who rents a Lamborghini by the hour. Stop it. Slap yourself right now. You are standing at the edge of a cliff, and I am the only thing stopping you from jumping off without a parachute. If you have $1,000 to your name, you are in a very precarious position. You are not an investor yet. You are a survivor. And if you screw this up, you go back to zero, or worse, you go negative. I'm going to give you a roadmap, a cheat code for this dystopian game we call the economy. It's not sexy, it's not going to make you the Wolf of Wall Street by Tuesday, but it is mathematically perfect. It is the only way to escape the simulation you are currently trapped in. We are going to treat this like a video game. There are levels. You cannot skip levels. If you try to skip to level 5 while you are still dying on level 1, you will get crushed by the physics of the market. So sit down, shut up, and listen to the strategy. Level 1 is the boring part that nobody wants to hear, but it is the mathematical prerequisite for wealth. It is called the hole. Before you think about growing your money, you have to make sure you aren't bleeding out. Do you have credit card debt? Do you have a personal loan with an interest rate that looks like a high score in a video game? If the answer is yes, you do not have $1,000. You have negative money. You are currently owned by a bank. If you have a credit card charging you 25% interest, that is a financial emergency. That is a fire in your living room. You cannot invest your way out of a 25% hole. The stock market on its best days gives you maybe 8 to 10% a year. If you make 10% in the market but lose 25% to Visa, you are losing 15% of your wealth every single year. That is entropy. That is the universe dissolving your hard work. So, if you have high-interest debt, take that $1,000 and throw it at the debt immediately. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Kill the parasite. Paying off a 25% debt is the mathematical equivalent of getting a guaranteed 25% return on your investment. There is no hedge fund manager on earth who can promise you that. It is the best investment you will ever make. It's not fun. You don't get a shiny asset to look at, but you buy your freedom. You cut the chains. If you are debt-free, congratulations. You have survived the tutorial. You can move to level 2. Level 2 is the force field. In 2026, the world is chaotic. Artificial intelligence is taking jobs, the economy is weird, and things break. Your car will break. Your tooth will crack. Your landlord will raise the rent because he feels like it. This is called Murphy's Law, and it is the only law the universe actually follows. If you take your $1,000 and buy stocks, and then your car explodes next week, what happens? You have to sell the stocks, and knowing your luck, the market will be down that day. So you sell at a loss to pay for a tow truck. You just locked in a loss. You failed. You need a buffer. You need a layer of insulation between you and the chaos of reality. That $1,000, if you don't have an emergency fund, that is your emergency fund. Put it in a high-yield savings account. Do not touch it. Do not look at it. It is not for pizza. It is not for a new phone. It is for when the world tries to punch you in the face. Having that money sitting there does something to your brain chemistry. It lowers your cortisol. It turns off the fight or flight response. You stop making desperate decisions because you aren't desperate anymore. You have a shield. Once you have that shield, and realistically you need more than 1,000, you need 3 to 6 months of expenses, but 1,000 is a start. Only then are you allowed to enter the casino. Now let's assume you are debt-free and you have a little safety net. Now we play the real game, level 3. This is where we talk about where to actually put the money to make it grow. And I'm going to tell you the secret that Wall Street hates. They want you to trade. They want you to pick stocks. They want you to gamble. Why? Because they make money on the fees. They make money when you lose. If you have $1,000 to start in 2026, you are not going to be a stock picker. You are not Warren Buffett. You are a primate with a smartphone. You are going to buy the empire. You are going to buy the S&P 500. What is the S&P 500? It is the 500 biggest, meanest, most profitable companies in the United States. It is Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. It is the engine of capitalism. When you buy a share of an S&P 500 index fund, you are betting on the entire American economy. You are betting that, generally speaking, corporations like making money. And guess what? They are really, really good at making money. They are ruthless profit-generating machines. You don't look for the needle in the haystack. You buy the whole haystack. You put that $1,000 into a low-cost ETF like VOO or SPY, and then, and this is the hardest part for your twitchy little brain, you do absolutely nothing. You let it sit there. The market will go up, the market will go down. It doesn't matter. Over the last 100 years, despite wars, depressions, and pandemics, the market has averaged about 10% returns per year. That is the magic of compound interest. It is the eighth wonder of the world. Einstein said that. Or maybe he didn't. Who cares? The math works. But wait, there is a cheat code within the cheat code. This is level 4, the Roth IRA. If you invest that money in a normal brokerage account, when you make a profit, the government comes knocking. They want their cut. They want capital gains tax. They want to punish you for winning. But the Roth IRA is a loophole in the matrix. You put money in that you've already paid taxes on. It grows for 20, 30, 40 years. And when you pull it out in retirement, it is tax-free. Zero taxes. You could have $1 million in there and the IRS gets nothing. It is the closest thing to legal tax evasion you will ever find. If you are eligible, open a Roth IRA and buy the S&P 500 inside of it. That is the ultimate power move.
Now, I hear you whining, but $1,000 isn't enough. I won't get rich off 10% of $1,000. You're right. 10% of $1,000 is $100. That's pathetic. It's not going to buy you a private island. That brings us to level 5, which is the most uncomfortable truth of all. The best investment you can make with $1,000 might not be in the stock market at all. It might be in the meat computer inside your skull. In 2026, the economy is shifting. Unskilled labor is being automated. If your only skill is moving a box from point A to point B or entering data into a spreadsheet, you are obsolete. The robots are coming, and they don't take lunch breaks. If you want to make real money, you need to increase your value. You need to upgrade your software. Maybe you take that $1,000 and you buy a certification. You learn to code. You learn to weld. You learn how to repair the robots that are taking everyone else's jobs. You learn how to sell. You learn how to speak a language. If you spend $1,000 on a course that raises your salary by $10,000 a year, that is not a 10% return. That is a 1,000% return. That is infinite ROI because it pays you every single year for the rest of your life. Investing in yourself sounds like a cliche from a cheesy motivational poster, but it is mathematically the highest leverage play you have. You are the asset. If the asset is defective, no amount of S&P 500 investing will save you. Let's talk about the psychological trap, the gamer mindset you need to adopt. Most people treat money like a consumable. They get money, they spend money. They are NPCs, non-playable characters. They follow the script: work, consume, die. You need to view money as ammunition. Every dollar is a soldier. When you send it out to buy a latte, that soldier is dead. It's gone. It died for a hit of caffeine. But when you invest that dollar, you are sending it out to capture territory. You are sending it out to recruit more soldiers. That dollar makes pennies. Those pennies make more pennies. Eventually, you have an army. With $1,000, you have a small squad. It's not an army yet. It's a platoon. Your job is to keep them alive. Don't send them into a suicide mission like Dogecoin or some penny stock your cousin told you about. Put them in the fortress of the S&P 500 and let them breed. The goal is to reach critical mass. The first 1,000 is the hardest. The first 10,000 is a grind. The first 100,000 is a slog. But after that, the physics change. The gravity gets weaker. The money starts to grow faster than you can save it. But you have to start. That's the catch. You are paralyzed by choice. You think, what if I pick the wrong time? What if the market crashes tomorrow? Let me tell you a secret about the market. It crashes. It always crashes. It's a feature, not a bug. If you buy today and it drops tomorrow, good. Buy more. It's on sale. You are buying a slice of the global economy at a discount. If you are young, a crash is the best thing that can happen to you. It lets you buy cheap. Stop trying to time the market. Time in the market beats timing the market. That's a cliché because it's true. Let's review the battle plan, soldier. Step 1. Destroy high-interest debt. It is a cancer. Cut it out. Step 2. Build the shield. Emergency fund. Protect your neck. Step 3. Open a Roth IRA. Tax-free growth is the holy grail. Step 4. Buy the haystack. S&P 500 index funds. Bet on the relentless greed of corporate America. Step 5. Upgrade your brain. Increase your earning power so you have more than just $1,000 to invest next time.
And here's the final piece of the puzzle, the philosophy. Why are we doing this? Is it to buy a Lamborghini? No. Lamborghinis are for insecure people who need to be loud to feel important. The goal is freedom. The goal is FU money. When you have money invested, you don't have to laugh at your boss's unfunny jokes. You don't have to panic when the car breaks down. You don't have to stay in a job that makes you miserable. Minimalism isn't about suffering. It isn't about sitting in an empty room staring at a white wall. Minimalism is about removing the junk, the expensive car payments, the subscriptions, the status symbols, so you can afford the things that actually matter, like your time, like your autonomy. You are standing at the fork in the road. Path A is what everyone else does. You spend the $1,000 on a new phone, or some clothes, or a weekend trip. You get a fleeting moment of happiness, and then you are back to zero. You are back to being a battery for the matrix. Path B is the hard path. It's the boring path. You put the money away. You don't see it. You don't get the dopamine hit today. You let it grind. You let it work. And 10 years from now, you wake up and realize you aren't a battery anymore. You are the architect. The year 2026 is unforgiving. The gap between the rich and the poor is widening. The middle class is evaporating. You have to choose which side of the divide you want to be on. The side that pays interest or the side that earns interest. The side that consumes or the side that owns. $1,000 is a seed. If you eat the seed, you starve. If you plant the seed, you get a tree. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes resisting the urge to be an idiot, but it is the only way out. So look at that $1,000. It's not enough to change your life today. It won't buy you a house. It won't buy you a yacht. But it is enough to change your direction. It is enough to start the snowball. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Open the account, transfer the money, buy the index fund, and then go do something productive. Go learn a skill. Go earn the next $1,000. The game is started and the clock is ticking. Don't waste your turn. You think the wealthy have some secret magic book? They don't. They just understand compound interest and they don't buy stupid stuff they can't afford. That's it. That's the big secret. You have the same tools they do. You have the same market. You have the same math. The only difference is discipline. Can you delay gratification? Can you wait? Can you ignore the noise? If you can, you win. If you can't, enjoy your overpriced coffee and your rent payments forever. I know I sound harsh. I know you want a hug and to be told that everything will be fine, but I respect you too much to lie to you. Everything will not be fine if you don't take action. Entropy is coming for you. Inflation is coming for you. Obsolescence is coming for you. Your only defense is a fortress of assets. Start building it, brick by brick, dollar by dollar, starting with that $1,000 in your hand. Don't blow it. Don't be a Jerry. Be a scientist of your own life. Analyze the variables, optimize the output. And for the love of physics, stop buying things to impress people who don't care about you. That $1,000 is your little soldier. It's weak right now. It's scared. But if you train it, if you give it time, if you add reinforcements, it will conquer the world for you. It's time to grow up. It's time to stop playing house and start building an empire. even if that empire starts with a single lonely grand. Make the transfer, close the app, get to work. Class dismissed.